Hi everyone! So today is Wooyoung's birthday, which means today I'll be sharing my Wooyoung collection with you all. And I do have mostly everything represented in this frame. There's a few different versions of albums I'm missing, mostly because they're stashed away somewhere in a bin while I'm in between moving. But Wooyoung has accomplished a lot of things as a solo artist over the years. And he was also the first 2PM member to actually debut as a soloist with his 23 male single album. And for a lot of second gen fans especially, his solo debut, Sexy Lady, I think still remains as a very iconic solo song from a K-pop idol. And even though Sexy Lady was produced by JYP and not Wooyoung, I still think this is a very important album. For not only Wooyoung but 2PM emerging as soloists. And it's just really exciting how far both Wooyoung and the rest of 2PM have emerged as solo artists with this album kind of kickstarting that. I think for a lot of K-pop fans, whenever you think of soloist Wooyoung, Sexy Lady is sort of the first thing that comes to mind. But a lot of the B-sides on this album are, I think, a lot of hidden gems that really play to Wooyoung's strengths as a vocalist. And it's also really exciting that two of these songs were also written by Junho and Junkei. And this album is, again, a very pivotal point, I think, in 2PM's career, just becoming and I guess emerging more as singer-songwriters. Now, to talk about Wooyoung's solo discography chronologically, he did release his 23 male single album in 2012, and he took a bit of a break when it came to his solo music. And from a lot of interviews, especially that he released in early 2018, he was saying how he was really wrestling with the idea of continuing as an idol, and for a long time wasn't really certain what he wanted to continue doing in the entertainment industry. But he did return to solo music, but in Japan with his Japanese debut, Rose. And here, like with the other 2PM members, is the start of when Wooyoung started writing and actively participating in producing his own music. And this is the only single solo album that 2PM has released. And again, this has a lot of hidden gems that I don't think a lot of fans talk about. So this is the box set version of his Japanese single, Rose. And so it houses all three of the regular versions, so the CD DVD versions and the regular CD version. And up there in the left-hand corner is the LP-sized Rose version, which comes with an extra song and is definitely my favorite from that release. And it wasn't until 2017 that he followed up with his Party Shots album, which definitely took me a few listens to, I think, appreciate, especially because it was just very experimental and not really what you would expect from Wooyoung, given his previous solo songs he's released. But at the same time, it's something that you definitely could picture Wooyoung doing with his very wacky and kind of crazy side. So I'm really glad that he was able to release an album like that. And it's definitely something that you wouldn't really picture another K-pop idol releasing. So something that I think is uniquely Wooyoung, is how I would describe Party Shots. But I mentioned this in a lot of my videos. My all-time favorite Wooyoung album, hands down, is his Madabokwa album, which he released in late 2017. And here I think he really just plays to his vocal strengths. And I just really love his lower register and just sometimes how he reaches for a lot of the notes in these songs, and just a very emotional album that I just love from start to finish. And then right before he enlisted, in early 2018, he released his Bye album in Korea, which I've done an unboxing for, and it has a nice thick photo book And so this album has a few new songs, as well as a few Korean versions of songs he released in Japan, like Party Shots and Going Going. I talked about this in my unboxing before, but this is also a very sentimental album, I would say, for a lot of hottest, and sort of the point where he started opening up a lot more to fans, not only in this photo shoot where he took pictures inside his own home, but also when he was promoting this album, he was a lot more candid about himself and what he's been going through these past few years in interviews. And one of the points I really wanted to make in this video is not only does Wooyoung have a really great discography, but he has this ability to really transform a lot of these songs through his lives. And there's a few songs on some of his albums, especially say his earlier albums, that I wasn't a huge fan of when I just listened to the studio version. But whenever he performed some of these songs that I initially either sort of disliked or felt pretty neutral about, he had this ability to really just transform them in his live performances. So all three of these are the current solo DVDs he has out. I imagine we'll be getting another one sometime soon for his last Japanese concert in Japan before he enlisted. And of all of these, the most recent one from his Matabokawa finale is definitely my favorite, both the styling and just the content in here with the live band. I thought was just a really remarkable concert to watch, and definitely my top three solo concerts from 2PM of all time at the moment. But I think especially in this concert, he took songs like Only Girl on this album and a few others like Party Shots, and when he performed them live, he just has this very raw and emotional performances through either dancing and just his singing that just really elevates these songs and makes me enjoy the studio versions even more. Which also is a pity, because I feel like a lot of people just listen to the studio versions, which I think are good on themselves, but they're such a higher kind of tier level when you hear them live. And I think 2PM should really capitalize on live CDs since a lot of these songs just sound really great live. And along with these concert DVDs, they also released these artist making photo books, which are always something I really like to collect because they give you some behind the scenes of the music video production and making the merchandise and just other sort of miscellaneous things that he did during this promotion period. So that was a quick flip through of his first solo concert in Japan. He also made one for Party Shots, which has a lot of questionable styling choices, but it's still a lot of fun to flip through and just see wacky Wooyoung in his element. And both of these, both the Rose and Party Shots, are the thickest of these. And his latest one that I recently received in the mail, his Matabokawa, is slightly thinner, but the picture quality and everything is just gorgeous, and I'm really happy I finally own this. It's definitely my favorite Wooyoung styling moment, I would say, in terms of his albums, and also just, I guess, 2PM albums in general, since he's sort of known for not always having the best styling choices. And for his Korean solo concert, I'm really happy that they released a photo book for that. Still kind of wish that JYP would release 2PM's Korean concert DVDs at some point, since we do know that they have them filmed, and they have live viewing, I guess, theater specials in Japan. I don't know why they haven't released them on DVD yet, but I really like this photo book, even though the pictures are really dark. His looks really nice here. As well as his making book for this album. It's nice to have more pictures of this era in a bigger size. So the photo shoot is very similar to the Bye album for, I guess, the first half, and then it goes more into the music video making and some of his concert stuff from his first concert in Seoul. And then the last official photo book I own for Wooyoung is this beautiful Traveling Alone photo book. And the pictures in here are just stunning. I'm sort of sad that they don't make these Traveling Alone photo books as huge anymore, though I guess when it comes to storing them, it's nicer that they're a bit more compact now. But I just love how colorful this photo shoot is. And you just have so much color saturation happening. And the images are just stunning. I'm really looking forward to when he returns from his military duty, and I'm really curious to see what solo projects he'll be bringing to the table. If he's going to release something more along the lines of party shots, or if we're going to get more of the serene sort of Wooyoung that we got in Matabokwa. But I think Wooyoung's done a really good job of showing his multiple sides as a solo artist, and I'm sure whatever he does will not only surprise us, but it'll be something that we'll really enjoy. And I really would love another photo book like this, because I just really treasure that photo book. So he'll be returning to us early-ish next year, and it's been a lot of fun just seeing him, especially during his military concerts, having a lot of fun and hyping up the crowd as he does best whenever he's performing live. And I'm very much looking forward to whatever he brings up next. So let me know what some of your guys' favorites are from Wooyoung, and if there's anything you would love to see him do upon his return next year in terms of solo albums or just any sort of solo activities. That is it for this video. I have only one more birthday special video left with Kuhn's upcoming June birthday. So look forward to that, as well as some other videos I have planned.